No, you don't.
Okay, that works.
All right, everyone, we're going to continue on with our press conferences here. We are now joined by John Hunter Nemechek, driver of the number 42 for Legacy Motor Club Toyota. We'll just jump right into questions. So if you have a question, we'll go to Jerry and right down the line.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. I guess, 5 races in, this is 6. Think about where you're at this year. You performed essentially better than a lot of people on the track. So what's your outlook and your grade so far?
Yeah, I think coming into this year, we knew that there was going to be ups and downs. We felt like that there was going to be times where we could shine, times where we may struggle, and just things where we kind of need to get better overall as a team. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I'm looking forward to this year. We've had some decent speed so far this year, so we just got to keep it up and see what we can do.
It's kind of your resurgence. I mean, this is kind of a boom for you. John, I think that
The chair is moving.
try this one. See how this works. See if that will work.
Thanks. Yeah, they did, for sure. Say that again, sorry.
Do you feel this is kind of a resurgence for you and give another opportunity to show exactly what you do have?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think coming back to the Cup Series was the goal all along, right? So how to do that, we're back here finally. Kind of the goals set in place for getting back to the Cup Series. But most of all, I feel good about kind of the vision and where we're going to try and go with Legacy Motor Club and the speed that we've had at some racetracks so far this year. I feel that as we continue to go through the year, we should be way better the second half of the year, theoretically, with more data and info and historical notes and different things of that sort. So it's going to take time. It's a process, right? But we're continuing to push hard and trying to learn everything that we can every single week. From myself being in the next-gen car for the first time, really like racing, as well as trying to get Ben back in the swing of things with the next-gen car, and us two up to speed on communication and dialogue with the next-gen car. Race is way different than trucks or Xfinity, so there's a lot of adapting that has to go on there.
Yep. John, we'll go right in the back there.
How you doing? Eric Sarita, Game Day Productions. What are your thoughts on the new Toyota car?
Say that again, sorry.
What are your thoughts on the new Toyota car?
Man, the new Toyota Camry is awesome. It looks really good. It drives really good. I feel like the body definitely shines out. I like it a lot.
There's been talks about increasing horsepower. How do you feel about that?
I'll play whatever hand that I'm dealt. Obviously, I know that there's been a lot of talks about it, but who knows what's going to happen. I can't say that I'm necessarily for more horsepower or for less horsepower or whatever it may be. I don't know. I don't know what the fix is.
We'll go right here to Tanner. John Hunter, right here.
John Hunter, Tanner Marlar with Front Stretch. Just kind of zoom out a little bit. We're a good chunk into the season, first road course. Just tell me kind of how you're feeling up to this point in the year.
Well, I feel like we've been able to hit Super Speedway, Atlanta, 1.5 mile Super Speedway package, a short track, 1.5 miles, and now a road course. So kind of hitting everything package-wise that we have for this year. We found quite a few areas that I feel like we need to work on and I need to work on as a driver so far. But overall, I mean, we've shown decent speed some weeks we haven't. Some weeks we definitely need to get better. But it's a constant progression. Just being able to try and be consistently competitive this year is big. Like I was saying earlier, like, we know that it's not going to go smooth every single week, right? There may be ups, there may be downs, but what do you learn from those situations and how do you make your cars drive better every single week that you come back to the racetrack? The car. It's way different than anything that I've really been in. It's still a race car, but adjustment-wise, how it drives, dirty air, there's a lot of differences there. So just trying to learn every aspect I can of this car and figuring out what I need for practice, qualifying to race, and trying to make the best adjustments possible.
Go to Mark Garrow right here in front.
Mark Garrow, PRN. John Hunter, given what happened at Phoenix, what kind of race do you think we're going to see at Richmond? The way your car felt and the way you felt you could pass, that kind of thing.
I don't know. I mean, at Phoenix, the fastest car won it running the bottom of the racetrack, right? I'm not sure about Richmond. I feel like with the simple diffuser, you're able to drive it more sideways. I don't have experience with the other diffuser on a short track, so I can't give you a huge difference, but just from what I've heard, you can drive it more sideways, but I feel like the package, I feel like it raced somewhat better. I don't know. The biggest experiencing for me is just not knowing the past, right, and the trends, and trying to figure out this new package. So I was grateful that they brought a new package in. I feel like it puts a lot of us on a level playing field, per se, with myself, of not having a ton of laps with the other package. So hopefully Richmond will be a really good race. If we have tire fall off like we did at Bristol, it'll be really good. Yes. Yes and no. At times, for sure, you could definitely push and try and get by a guy. We were able to run multiple lines at Phoenix, which was nice, be able to move around. I definitely feel like that was big, but I think handling played a huge factor into that race as well. You saw a few good cars that were really good on the long run. You saw some that were good on the short run and some that were good in the middle of a run. But it didn't seem like it was as bad of dirty air from watching previous races. So I'm not sure what others think. I can't really give you my 2 cents on that.
Go back left to Alan Cavana.
Alan Cavana. John Hunter, can you bring me through like turns 6, 7, 8, and 9, those S's, and just describe the challenge of them there? I think it's kind of slow, but I want to get your perspective.
6, 7, 8, and 9. Well, if you mess one of them up, it screws the rest of them up. So it's definitely a rhythm section there, in my opinion. 6 is fun, I would say. Kind of long sweeper carousel, can run on the paint side, can run on the asphalt side. 7 is definitely tight. 8, you'll see a lot of guys using runoff for grip, trying to straight line that section, and 9 is super tight back to the left. So it's definitely faster than you think it would be, but it's slower than you think it would be as well, from the elevation and whatnot. So it's a fun little section. It's hard, for sure. It's challenging. You can't miss your marks.
Any final questions for John Hunter? Go right up here to Kevin.
Right behind you.
Yeah, Kevin Lytle from the Austin American Statesman. John Hunter, the way NASCAR skips around, starting with super speedways and intermediate 1-milers, then short track, is that the way you like it, and how much of a challenge is that for you and your team to be adjusting so much every week?
I like it. I think that it gives us a chance, if you're off of your game a little bit, to work on your stuff. It gives you more time in between the 1.5-mile races or the short track races. So I kind of like that it's spread out. I also like, for myself, having not a lot of experience in the next gen car, being able to run all the different packages at 5 different types of racetracks. To kind of get at least one race under our belt, so that way you kind of know what to expect when you go back to one of those places. So I definitely like it like that. I don't think that we should run all super speedways and then all short tracks and all road courses all together. I think it should definitely be spread out.
Any final questions? All right. Thank you, John Hunter. Best of luck this weekend.
Appreciate it.
All right, there's the checkered flag. Great job, driver.